Hello, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to this new live streaming. Now I'm opening while you join. I'm opening the episode for today, episode for no 14, 13 of the final season of Shingeki no Kyojin Part 1. We are almost reaching the entire Part 1 rewatch, so okay, just wait a second, and um, and then we are ready to start with the part two. So this is something amazing. I'm rewatching everything, and in 3 weeks after, I will finish everything. So I will be ready for the 9th of January to be here to react to part two. Can't wait, of course. In the meantime, join me because through these rewatch, I want to, to remind you this. Throughout this rewatch, I'm able to change my mind about something that many months ago I was talking about, or there is the chance. Hello, Claire. Hello. Or there is the chance that I don't change my mind, or there is the chance, as it happened throughout all these weeks, that I come up with the theories and the things that are coming later that I'm like, okay, if this is going to happen, what's going on, and things like this. So please, I suggest you, my subscribers, not the entire world, but you, my subscribers who follow my Shingeki no Kyojin reaction videos, to follow these live streamings because there's the chance that throughout these live something can happen. So when the part two will start, you understand what's in my mind already. I mean, I start part two with a specific thought, with a specific mind that is changed from the end of part one in March of this year. So things can change. Please follow me and understand what my mind can reach throughout this strange but amazing story. Okay, are you ready to join me watching episode 13? Let's start. Okay, let me start the episode. Okay, here we go. The volume is like this. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Yeah, this is the gas scene of Zeke, in which they explain us what happened that day when Connie's parents, I mean Connie's mom, was transformed into a titan. That was そいつをわずかでも吸ったユミルの民は直後に硬直。体の自由が奪われ、意識を失う。あとは俺が命令するだけで、道を通じて巨人の力が座標に送り込まれる。And we understood even the importance of the screen here, because sorry that I stop sometimes to comment because otherwise I don't focus anymore on the rest, but thanks to this scene in which Zeke is explaining all the gas background story, let's say, we understand how important is the scream of Zeke, that we get in touch with it at the beginning of this part one, but before we didn't know that Zeke was screaming, and thanks to this scream he had the power to transform these human beings into titans automatically because of this spinal fluid. So this is something that can explain not just what happened to Connie's parents, to the Connie's village, but even when he's throwing right the rocks in season 3 part 2, or even before, there is this scream of Zeke plus, if you remember when Mike dies He has this instinctive power to move the titans as much as he wants without the scream, of course. But we know that Zeke has this power to move them, to move these titans as if we are playing a chess or something. So his power is immense anyway, but we didn't know this background story of the gas before, so this was a great way to start the episode, in my opinion.
その村じゃない。長子村だ。お前が皆殺しにした村の名前だろ。
Yeah.
覚えておけ、クソヒゲ。
Yeah.
おお、俺だって避けたかったさ。だが、やらなければ俺の真意がエルディア復権にあるとバレて、この島に希望をもたらすことは叶わなかっただろう。
See, I think Zeke is always talking about these destiny of actions. I mean, these consequences that are happening because there was no other choice, or thanks to these events that are happening to Zeke, he can change from his point of view the entire story. In fact, here to Levi, he is saying, but if I didn't do what I did to the Connie's village, I call it the Connie's village so you understand, you couldn't even get in touch with who I am. You couldn't even understand all the things regarding Eldia and things like this. So he thinks that that thing he did to the Connie's village somehow it was necessary for the others to reach this point of the story. Zeke, yes, it's true somehow, because without getting in touch with the Beast Titan since season 2, I mean since the beginning, let's call it the beginning, we couldn't reach this point. So from this point of view, he is right. But of course, as much as I said regarding Eren's attack in Liberio, it was necessary, but at the same time, it caused the pain to lots of people. So it has always the good side, even if it's not so good anyway, and it has the bad side too. So there is always a consequence for our actions.
この島に上陸してすぐに話したよな。なぜ何度も聞き返す。お前が耳かすほどの罪悪感も覚えちゃいねえってことがよく。
No, because in fact we discover later that his plan was something else. Yeah.
党の人命に興味がねえのは確かに。お前モテねえだろ。勝手に人の気持ちを分かった気がない。
And in this case, Zeke was mocking Levi 100% while he was saying, you pretend to know other people's feelings, and this is wrong. Yeah, exactly, because nobody over there knows his real plan. So he is mocking them so hard.
モテたことくらい。ああ、そうかい。それで、俺とエレンが会って実験を開始するのはいつだ。決めるのは俺じゃねえ。
In part 2, you will begin the test with the rumbling.
時間があると思っているなら、間違いだと伝えろ。それだけは同じ意見だ。リヴァイエ長。何？それは本当なのか？
And okay, here there is the opening. I keep it because every time, in this case, I can keep them. Let's start a real life from the darkness. If it's the end, this is my last war. destruction and regeneration. You are the real enemies. War, my war, my war. Okay, let's start with episode 72, Children of the Forest.
すごい建物。こんなとこ初めてだ。俺も。よかったな、俺たち。今日はうんと食うときなさいよ。どげんしたか、いや。ケソケソしてから。いや、緊張しすぎだよ、ミヤ。まったく、どこの田舎から出てきたんだよ。違う。本当にこんなところにマーレの捕虜が働いてるの。本当だから堂々としててよ。
Oh, and at the beginning, Gabi didn't even want to touch them. Do you remember? She didn't even want to eat the supper. She didn't want to eat next to them. It was a tragedy. But now, even when she's talking to Kaya, she's getting in touch with her. Or later, when Sasha's dad is touching her, or it was Sasha's mom. Oh, Sasha's mom, let's say, yeah. But we see later this scene in which somebody is touching Gabi, and it's of course, one of the people living in paradise, and she's not saying anything anymore. So do you see? Compared to what Gabi was before, this was a great change.
ブラウスさん、ようこそいらしてくださいました。お招きいただきありがとうね。
Let's see who's touching her. There was a scene that I remember. Oh yeah. That's the Sasha's dad's girlfriend or wife.
あの人がブラウスさんを招いたマーレ人のニコラさん。
Yeah.
あの人を頼ってみて。
Yeah.
ブラウスさんは兵士でもないのになんでここに招待されたの？お姉ちゃんはブラウスさんの娘で兵士だったの。お墓に来てくれたニコラさんは。
And we know pretty well what happened. Yeah.
私、二人が恋人同士だったと思ってるけどね。
Not they, but he was in love with her.
どうした？腹でも痛いんか？
I think here Falco, while he's hearing Kaya talking and she's saying, I think those two were in love. That means Nicolo and Sasha. I think here Falco, because he's looking like this, he is thinking, that's strange because nobody had the permission, especially Marley, okay? But let's say nobody was falling in love with a person from a paradise, okay? So I think Falco in that moment when he's looking at the situation like this, he's like, oh, wait a second. But this didn't happen before. Marlian that is loving a person, an alien from paradise, this is something crazy. But actually, this is what happened even to Reiner. So things like this can happen, and this is a pure racism, absolutely, because we see how their faces are changing as much as they are saying where they come from. So this is a heavy story for these subjects for sure. And yeah, I recommend if look, I know that your parents are reluctant somehow to watch anime or to watch stories like this because they think, yes, there is always this leitmotif of the previous generations who think that anime they are just for kids and there's nothing that is going to change their mind. I suggest you to show them these type of scenes in which your parents can understand pretty well that this is not an anime for kid, not at all, and they can get in touch with a story that is maybe changing their perspective too. Who knows? But This is better than a TV series. Definitely. All the subjects involved in this story can let you understand that this is not an anime for kids. So, all the parents who are getting in touch with the Shingeki no Kyojin and they are telling you this, it means they don't understand the story. Otherwise, I think instead of a Netflix or TV series, they should watch this thing because thanks to this story, they can understand that because racism is a problem even nowadays. So that's not something that happened 75 years ago, but even now. So if they can watch this, they can change their minds regarding many things. And I hope that your parents, as much as my parents who watched the Shingeki no Kyojin, they get in touch with anime that are so deep and it's not so obvious just because they have watched it together with us while we were kids. Doraemon, Pokemon, Sailor Moon. But even Sailor Moon can be deep somehow. But stories that, of course, they are for kids. I hope that they change their mind because they have the chance to watch something really important that goes beyond the Titans and whatsoever. So if you let your parents understand this would be something amazing.
おい、こんなうまい料理は初めてだ。
And this seems to be a nice lunch time, but then
ニコロ、お前に客だぞ。
thank you that Hanji came in that moment. Thank
調
you.
査兵だ。
I want to remind you this that I told you last week. Thank you so much, Hanji, for coming in that moment because if Hanji didn't come to the restaurant with Mikasa, Armin, Jan, okay, they didn't discover about the wine, they didn't help Gabi to survive because Mikasa was protecting her from Kaya, and there could have been a homicide over there. Who knows? But Hanji is there, and I'm so happy that she came over there.
お前らか。どうした？有用か？俺は今、大事なお客さんの相手で忙しいんだ。
ああ、もちろん仕事に戻って構わないよ。ただ、後で話をさせてもらいたいだけなんだ。
話？一体何の？
なんかほら、あるだろ？悩みってさ。
竜兵が拘束された件だ。
Oh, Nyankopon, you go straight to the point.
わかった。とりあえずここで待っててくれ。
See? Oh, it was a coincidence somehow that they could wait over there where there's the wine, okay?
兵団内で噂
But
の
if
あ
they
りか。
didn't go there, they
何
didn't
で
even
も
discover
紹介した人が持って
anything.
って話らしいけど。
Even if it was too late for Levi and his comrades over there,
あ
but
あ俺たちだって美味しい思いしたって言ったろ。ちょっとくらい本当に触るな。なんだよニコロ。ちょっとふざけた感じじゃねえか。大げさだな、おい。
and here he wants to protect them.
これは
This is good.
エルディア人にはもったいない代物なんだよ。
And he's converting everything into a racist sentence, okay? In this case, Niccolo is trying to protect John, Connie, and all the others who wanted to try the wine, actually. And how is he protecting them? By saying a racist sentence, because he's saying, it's not for some poor aliens like you, or something like that. So, see? That was the only way maybe to protect them, even if, in my opinion, Niccolo should have said to them, look, I have this bad feeling, or I was suggested to do something like this. But it's so hard, as you can see. It's really hard to change your mind like this. Niccolo comes from Marley no matter what. And even if he got in touch with Sasha in a certain way, even if he got in touch with all the others for some years, something is telling him anyway that he's a Marleyan. So he can't change and say, oh, I love you, all of you from Paradise. it takes time to change a mind of a person. It takes time.
お前まだそんなこと言ってんのか
Eh,
何人だとかどうとか関
no,
係ねえだろ
this time is saying it for something good.
慣れ慣れしいんだよ
See? Once again, he is going harder and harder. I mean, he's going on by saying even worse things. Don't touch me, alien. Just because I've been nice doesn't make us pals. See?
そういうてめえは何様なんだよ
And now John is responding with the same racist method. I mean, he's saying, have you forgotten what you are? So this makes you understand that behind the surface, no matter the agreement they made, no matter if they went along with one another for a certain period of time, there is still that layer of a pure racism, and this is something that you can't change so easily. We understood it even from our history, but also from what's happening even nowadays. So mm, there, it's like as if these marks, these tags that people are giving you, it's not easy to wash them away. There has to be time on your side, but also comprehension. And in the case of Marlian versus aliens living in Paradise, this is something that is not so easy to do. And it's not just because some years passed in which Niccolo and all the others, Onyankopon, etc., could have lived there, that they can change their mind. Mm.
お前の立場は捕虜の分際でってかこれで弱い子だなエルディア人
Uh,
どうしたんだあいつくそわけわかんねえよ
but actually, he wanted to protect them. I mean, Niccolo did all this to protect them. That is the same thing Eren is doing. I mean, in this case, this scene with Eren who's talking to Armin and Mikasa, I don't see a difference. Not at all. It's the same procedure to act, to say something bad, but the real reason is to protect them. The same thing.
大丈夫かいベン
なんか当たったんかもしれんぞ
トイレに行けば助かるかもしれない
Falco, who is always sacrificing himself for Gabi. Gabi, you should be thankful to him. Grateful. And here is the problem.
なんだトイレはこっちじゃないよ
トイレに用はありませんニコルさん私たちはマーレから来ました戦士候補生ですこの島にはもうじき世界中の軍隊からなる大攻勢が仕掛けられると思われますそれまでどうか耐えてくださいそしてこのことを仲間のマーレ人に伝えてください
ちょっと待ってくれどうして戦士候補生がここにいるんだ
レベリオクが島の悪魔どもに奇襲を受けたんです私たちは退却する敵の飛行船に飛び乗ったままこの島に上陸しました
Gabi spilled all the tea. Yeah.
女の兵士
はい仕留めました
But do you see the face of Gabi when she's saying, yes, I killed one, yes. As if it's something amazing. I mean, you killed a person, okay? And it's not good, but the fact that she's a girl from Paradise, it's okay. So, yes, I killed one, yes. That means, yeah, I made it. That was what I was hoping to do, and I did it. That was a pure satisfaction. But I hope, okay, throughout these episodes, even later, we see how Gabi is changing, but I still hope that in part two we see her changing more and maybe think about what happened till that moment. I mean, she's going to reach a certain point in which she has to turn back and she has to see inside herself her journey. I hope, and at this point, I wanted to remark this once again. I hope that Falco will survive. And as a consequence, if Falco will survive, even Gabi will survive because of the promise Falco made to Reiner. So there is no chance that one is surviving and the other one is not. But at the same time, I am so curious, as I was telling you already, I'm so curious to see uh, where is Gabi going to live. I mean, after the rumbling, I'm just pretending to imagine what's going to happen if the rumbling is a success. If Eren is dying, he will die. But if Eren is dying and he's reaching his personal freedom and everything is finishing, and maybe he can let the Ymir rest in peace too, at this point, I'm asking myself, what's going to happen to the world? I mean, the world will be unified forever because thanks to the rumbling, millions of colossal are about to destroy the world as we know. So, if everything will be unified, where Gabi and Falco will go on living? Paradise is an island. So the rumbling, I don't think the rumbling is going to change the map of the world, okay? So Paradise will stay an island anyway. So if Falco and Gabi will survive, where are they going to go on living? I mean, will they go on living in the Paradise area, what was called Paradise, or they go back to Marley? What about the rest of the characters, our characters? That means John, that is going to survive, in my opinion. That means Mikasa, who's going to survive. Are they going to change their setting or not? From what I understood from Mikasa, she is really proud where she's from. So I don't think she will go on the other side of the ocean. But what about Gabi and Falco? The real change is over there. When everything will finish, and Gabi and Falco, they have to decide to go on living to a specific into a specific reality somewhere specifically. Okay. At this point, if Gabi or Falco decide to remain, decided to stay in the paradise in the place that was called Paradise, it's a great change for Gabi. I think if she decides to stay on this side of the world, on this island, she's going to change a lot. It means that she has finished thinking the things that she thought. And this would be something amazing because it's a step forward. If she decides to go back to the what was Liberio, it means that there is still a little bit of a prejudice. But if she decides to stay, for example, or to go on living, for example, together with Falco next to Sasha's dad, that will be a great change for Gabi. And I hope that at this point, I hope that the two of them are going to stay next to Nicolo's dad. To Sasha's dad, because this would be a great improvement. And Sasha's dad is the only one, in my opinion, who can take care of them in the best way. So I hope, fingers crossed, I hope that Gabi and Falco will decide to stay next to Sasha's dad in the future if they all survive. At this point, I hope that even Sasha's dad will survive. Yeah, because I take it for granted, but never say never. Okay.
私たちの故郷を蹂躙した報復はこれからです。私たちは卑怯な悪魔どもには絶対何よ。
殺したのか。お前がサシャを殺したのか。
Falco every time has to sacrifice himself. How many times did he prove his love to Gabi? And Gabi doesn't even understand that. The wine. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, we are still over there. I mean, Falco drank the wine. So now we have to think, will Falco be okay? In part two, is he going? I'm still guessing. I'm still thinking what can happen. Is Falco going to transform into a Titan later? Because if he is eating one of the others, he is going to become a Titan with intelligence. So I still have this big question mark. Is Falco going to transform into a Titan? And is he going to join? Maybe he can join even a. I don't know. Because I don't think that Falco wants to join Reiner, Peak, and that side anymore. Maybe later that I mean, by the fact that he knows reality in a different way, Falco maybe can be the key for real. And try to imagine if he's going to join Armin on this side instead of the other side. I don't know, but is he going to transform too or not? Because if he is going to transform thanks to the spinal fluid of Zeke inside the wine, it means that he will have no, wait. If he is going to transform into a usual Titan, that means the first mode, okay? He can go on living. He doesn't have a time limit. But if he's becoming an intelligent Titan, he has a time limit. So I am afraid that Falco can have a time limit too. So I hope that they are going to save him somehow from these Zeke's scream and oh look, at this point, do you remember Zeke? We will see in the next weeks, but do you remember when Zeke saw this figure of a little girl that is Ymir, and then he was englobed by these titans, so we don't know what's going on, but I don't think Zeke is dead. Of course not. He was englobed by these titans, so he has to come out. And in the trailer we see Zeke like that. I mean, sorry that I'm miming him. I'm so sorry. He's a Yama Sensei, sorry, but I am miming him what I saw in the trailer, like that. So he's coming out from that titan. He's coming out, and he doesn't have bruises or something. That means that maybe Ymir helped him to recover at this point, because after he was thinking that he was dying, he saw this image of Ymir. Okay, and it means that. Okay, let me say it like this: Ymir wants to find a person. I mean, wants to find somebody. She's waiting because Eren is saying, even in the trailer, he's saying, you were waiting for somebody to come here for 2,000 years. So Ymir is waiting for somebody to come and save her, or somebody to come and listen to her, or somebody to come and understand her story and understand why she did what she did, and blah 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 blah, the background, the story. That means she was waiting for somebody to come to save her automatically, because Ymir is dead. I don't think that she's alive. That's just the way to perpetrate memories after memories of what she was. But physically speaking, I don't think she's alive. Even if we see that in the key visual, I don't know how to say this, but I can't imagine that she has this power to live for 2,000 years. Physically speaking, I'm saying. So if Eren is meeting her, I think Eren, by meeting her and by listening to her and by finishing what she wanted to do, it's a way to let her rest in peace. That means even the fact that Ymir appeared in Zeke's mind while he thought that he was about to die. I think that in that moment, Ymir is trying to save Zeke instead, because without him, the rumbling is impossible to do. So Ymir is doing something like this for them to start the rumbling, and not for other reasons, okay? But the meaning between Eren and her is different because Eren has the Shiso Titan. He has the founding Titan. So in that case, it's a little bit different because Eren has to get in touch with her to understand more about what happened. I'm pretty sure of this. And yeah, from the previous trailer, the last trailer we saw, there is a Zeke, like, that means he came out after he was englobed by this Titan. He could come out, and he doesn't have bruises, he doesn't have wounds. That means that Ymir saved him, or she helped him gaining once again his form at the top of his form, because if he has maybe he's coming out like this and he's seeing Eren passing and I don't know, or maybe Eren is he is transformed into a Titan. He is coming next to him, and this is the final way to start to touch him and start rumbling. Who knows? But my interpretation from what I saw when Zeke was about to be killed and he was dying, plus what I saw in the trailer, plus what I saw in the key visual, tells me that Zeke, of course, is not dead, and Zeke has to survive because he has to survive for Ymir and thanks to Ymir. So it's a double thing, okay? But he has to survive. So Ymir will do everything she can to let him survive, as much as she's taking care of Eren, because both of them are the solution for her to rest in peace finally. So this is something that has to happen, okay? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. And going back to what I was saying, because otherwise there was no meaning. Falco, at this point, there is no chance, there's no reason why he is transformed into a Titan. Even if there could have been the chance for him to do this. Okay. When, just remember that we are in Shiganshina now, okay? But the fact that in the trailer, the last trailer, we see Zeke in an instance, we see Zeke like, is he going to scream? I hope not, because if he screams, all the people who drank the wine will be transformed into Titans, and maybe this involves Falco too. I mean, is Zeke going to scream in that specific moment of the trailer? While I think that, can you imagine? Okay. And this makes me understand if a Falco or not will become a Titan or not. Because if a Falco is able, and we saw it in the trailer that he's running away with the Gabi and Colt, let's hope he can run away in time. Because we don't know, is Zeke screaming in that scene or not? If he's screaming as always, it's a problem. It's a big problem.
あなたの娘さんの命を奪いました。まだガキですが、厳しく訓練されたマーレな兵士です。 我から退却する飛行船。
あいや。
こいつがあなたの娘を、サシャを撃ったんです。娘。ブラウスさん、どうぞ。あなたが殺さない。
And this is the proof why I want that Gabi and Falco survive, and they are going to live with him. Because Sasha's death is a masterpiece. Oh, once again, we see a secondary or thirdly character that is becoming the main character. Okay, this is the greatness of this story. This is the greatness of this story, guys. Even a thirdly character like a Sasha's dead, nobody imagined. After we watched the season 2, in which there is that scene with Sasha in the forest, we don't imagine that a character like this is becoming the key. The key. How to solve problems in this world, he has the key for this. And you have never expected this. You imagined that the main characters could reach this mind or could reach this thought. No, Sasha's dad has the key for how to behave in this world. This is why this story is amazing. Okay, it's something incredible. It's better if you come because we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. See? If Sasha's dad agreed with Niccolo, that cycle of pain would have gone on. But the fact that Sasha's dad is different and he has the key to solve this cycle of pain, they interrupted that cycle. It's not going on. It's interrupted. Even if later Kaya wants to kill her, blah, 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 it's interrupted. And that's why I tell you, this character has the key to solve the story somehow. Even if Eren has his own way to solve this story because of himself, but Sasha's dad has the key for the rest of the world. And he has the evidence that if he is stopping this cycle of pain, the world can change for real. We have a proof, a real proof here. Oh yeah. Yeah. So see, this is a proof that Niccolo loved Sasha, not that Sasha loved Niccolo. This is a pure declaration of love from him, not from her, even if she's dead, but I don't think so. I mean, I think Niccolo loved Sasha, not the contrary. See the cycle of pain. Once again, Niccolo is saying something. Gabi is saying something else. Niccolo is responding. Gabi is responding, and this chain of pain is going on and on and on and on without a solution. Because everyone in this world, but even in the world of Shingeki no Kyojin, everyone is selfish. You did something bad to me. I don't care if I did something bad to you. It matters what it makes me pain. It makes me my pain. So selfishness is the most important subject everywhere in all stories we have watched so far. But this is clear. You did something bad to me. I did something bad to you. What matters to me is what you did to me, not what I did to you. selfishness.
殺された。だから報復してやった。先に殺したのはそっちだ。
知るかよ、どっちが先とか。
目を覚まして。あなたはマーレの兵士でしょ。
And here Gabi, of course, has to find a way to save Falco for the last minute that she has. So she's doing something bad. I mean, she's saying the same things as always. I mean, they are telling her that they kill the daughter of Braus, and Niccolo is having this not beautiful, but this declaration of love in front of her, expressing the pain he felt, and behind her there is her dad, okay, who is saving her and Falco, who is giving her and Falco food, who is treating them as if they are his kids, blah 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 blah. No, Gabi is saying that the devil woman bewitched you. Don't lose to the devils. I remember when I watched this moment, I said, "Oh, come on, Gabi. Well, you could have said so many other things, but these offense, these accuse to his daughter. Oh, here we go. See, there was not a way to stop this. So Sasha's dad made something great. He stopped this cycle of pain. I hoped that he could have talked to Eren too at that time when he was saying, I will destroy all the Titans. Or I hoped that Sasha's dad, could have talked to Marley. Instead of Willy Taiba, we needed him to talk to Marley, people. That would have been the best speech ever.
その悪魔の女に惑わされてる。悪魔なんかに負けないで。
ニコロ君、包丁を渡します。
And here all the people or anime only were thinking, oh. But then the greatness came out. Yeah. Even the steps, the silence.
そこまでです、ブラウス。ハマの置いてください。
サシャは狩人やった。
はい。
ごめん頃から弓を教えて、森で獣を置いて殺して
Yes.
きた。
Yes.
それが俺らの生き方やったからや。
Yes.
けど、同じ生き方が続けられん時代が来ることは分かってんだから、サシャを森から外に生かしたら、
Yes.
で、世界はつながり、兵士になったサシャはよその土地にすぐに人を撃ち、人に撃たれた。結局、森を出たつもりが、
Yeah.
世界は命に奪い合いを続ける巨大な森の中やったんや。
Before we go on, I really love the fact that he took as an example the forest. So beautiful. Once again, we are talking about trees, but absolutely, I think this metaphor was simply great. The metaphor of the forest as a place full of dangers in which you're not sure if, I mean, you're sure when you go inside, but you're not sure if you can go outside alive. Or the fact that the forest is like a pure adventure. You can find something good, but even something bad. So there is these unknown feeling of the forest, as much as the forest itself. I mean, if we check a forest, we are always doubting, or we are scared to go inside because we don't know what we can find. We can find a person that can kill us. We can find an animal that is going to attack us. So the danger that the forest is letting you feel as a metaphor, not just as a metaphor, but even as a real thing, okay? And yeah, I really like that because Sasha's dad, when she was saying to Sasha, okay, you go, good luck, he knows about the dangerous thing that can happen to Sasha. He is well aware of what can happen to Sasha. So Sasha's dad is conscious of all these things. He already put in his mind that there was the chance for her to survive or not. So no matter who killed Sasha, we should see things from this perspective. Anyway, there was the chance, there was the probability that this could have happened. So by the fact that he took it for granted that there was this probability, this percentage, he's Sasha's dad's soul is already relieved somehow. No matter who killed his daughter, this could have happened. He already put in his mind that this could have happened. It could have been Gabi. It could have been an accident that could have happened to her. It could have happened even in season 3, part 2 already. It could have been in season 2 already, in season 1. So no matter the time, no matter the moment, this could have happened somehow. And by saying this to himself, Sasha's dad already felt relieved from this. Once he sent his daughter away from the forest, that forest can make also, it can mean also a protection. Because the forest, if you're surrounded by trees and you have that house in the middle of the woods, you feel surrounded by trees and nothing from the external side of the forest can come inside because other people can fear the forest. No? So this forest was not just a dangerous thing for them, but it was like a sort of shelter, a cocoon, a protection. But once you decided to go outside from this forest and immerse yourself in another forest that is the world, Sasha's dad already knew that it could have happened, it could have not happened. The fact that he knew this made him feel relieved already. So that's why he is a step forward. He's going beyond all of them. Because as a parent, it's like when you send, nowadays, when families are sending these daughters or sons to war, inside their hearts, they're praying that nothing is going to happen, nothing bad is going to happen to their sons or daughters. But they already put inside their minds and their hearts that there's the chance for them to come back or not. They have to be well prepared for this. So, yeah, I think that's why Sasha's dad is a step forward. And he's somebody else rather than all the others. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Because the forest, the more you, this metaphor of the forest as the dangerous world, the more a person is staying inside of these development, inside of this environment, the more there is the chance that you can be killed. So when he says we should keep the younger generations away from the forests, yes, that's true, because it's because of the previous generations that the new generations are doing what they are doing. As much as when Gabi, Falco, Colt, and all the others were trying to become the candidates, it was because of the previous generations who indoctrinated them to do something like this, and by doing this, it was something good. So if we keep these kids away from the forest, that means the wars, the prejudices, all the bad things that can happen to the world, if we prevent them to join, things will change. And this chain, this cycle of pain will be over because we intervened to stop it. But if we perpetrate this, it will never stop. So he is taking his responsibility too, because he decided for Sasha to go out of that forest. That means of that shelter they could have created and emerge herself into the other forest. So he's taking also his responsibility of this mistake he made. But he doesn't want to repeat it. He doesn't want that Gabi, Falco, all the other kids they are helping are experiencing the same things Sasha experienced. So this is another level of thinking. He feels pain because his daughter is dead, but because of that pain, he decided to change. He decided to create another environment that is definitely better than the previous one by accepting his mistake and trying not to repeat it. This is the difference. This is why Sasha's dead is incredible for all these things. And that's why I admire him so much. I think in this part one, he's one of the best characters. Exactly. 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 Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. And in fact, Niccolo realizes what he did after Sasha's dad talked. That's why I hoped that Sasha's dad could have had the speech in Marley. Can you imagine? If he could have gone instead of a really Taiba, okay? If he could have gone instead of him, the speech would have been so great. I think that thanks to that speech, people could have understood. Standing ovation for Sasha's dad, even after months and months. Oh, what the F. The best thing to ask, the best thing to say, Mia, are you okay? "90 minutes of applause. Yes. See? It's a thanks to Mikasa. If Mikasa was not there, so once again, thank you, Hanji, for coming. And once again, Kaya wants to kill Gabi for what she heard. And once again, Sasha's dad is stopping her. He really stops all the chains of pain, all the cycles of pain. He's stopping them all. So once again, standing ovation for Sasha's dad. I didn't change my mind about him, and I refuse to change my mind about him. There's nothing to change. Great job. Great job. Yeah. Yes. This doesn't mean that, okay, by knowing that Sasha could have been dead, by knowing that by sending her to these forest, dangerous forest that is the world, except their forest, he's relieved because he put it in his mind that Sasha could have could die or not, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but the pain will never stop. I mean, even if he's cutting this cycle of pain, his internal and personal pain will never change, will never go away. And in fact, he is crying together with his wife, together with Kaya, together with all the others, because Sasha's dead. Didn't say, look, I knew by sending Sasha over there, I knew that she could have been killed, so now I don't feel pain anymore. No. He is relieved because he put this into an option inside his mind, but at the same time, of course, the pain will stay because she was always his daughter. So this pain will never go away, will never fade away, never. But let's not repeat the same things. But I know, I'm well aware that I was sending Sasha with my approval. I sent Sasha out of the forest to join the other forest. So I take my responsibility for all the sins that I made, because if Sasha joined is because I accepted this, because I said, yes, go, it's your life, go and live it with your own ideas and things like this. I warned her, but maybe I could have warned her more. So this is the reason why he doesn't want to repeat the same thing again with Gabi, Falco, and all the other tiny kids they have. But the pain for Sasha's loss will not go away. It will stay. Good morning. Good morning. Ah, here we go. Yeah.
あのワインには何が入っていたの？
多分ジークの脊髄液だ。
Oh my.
ザ・クレイが殺された。はい。今壁内は実質的にイエーガー派によって支配されています。すべてはジークがエレンやイエレナを介して実行した一連の工作ではないかと考えられています。それで近くイエーガー派の要求通りエレンをジークの元まで案内する手はずとなっております。ピクシーズ、おとなしく従うって。
Levi, let me tell you once again this. I said it already multiple times during the rewatch. This is why Erwin didn't choose him for being the commander. Because Erwin, I'm pretty sure that Erwin, if he was still alive, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe he would have gone against Zachary too. Yeah. I have this feeling. Oh, this is great. This is great. What Levi is saying here is something amazing. He always thought that Eren was the hope for humanity. And then now from their point of view, Eren is becoming the problem of humanity. But I'm still sure that Eren is a certain, a sort of hope for humanity. Because Eren doesn't have the plan that Zeke has. For Eren, Zeke is just necessary to start the rumbling and to fulfill his mission. But Eren has another mission, to save them all. So, if we follow Zeke's plan, they were all dead right now. But if we follow Eren's plan, that means I hope you have a longer life. I hope you to have a longer life. I wanted to save you because you are my dear friends, because you are my dear people. This is a way to save humanity anyway. So, dear Levi, even if I understand what you feel and what you think, because it's from your perspective, and of course, there's nothing that can guarantee what I'm saying too. But I think that Eren is still a hope for humanity somehow. Yeah.
So, 信じた結果がこのざまだ。まるで比例冗談だな。俺たちが見てた希望ってのは一体何だったの？
I imagine.
死闘の結果がこの茶番だと。ふざけるな。冗談じゃねえ。巨人に食わせるべきクソ野郎は他にいる。どういうことだ？ワインにジークの脊髄液が入ったって。確証はない。ただ、このワインは第1回調査船から大量に積まれていた。
Ma I don't know if this can save Falco.
料理人としての立場が安定してきた頃になって、このワインを兵団組織高官らに優先して振る舞うよう言われたんだ。誰がだ？イエレナだ。俺の知る限りじゃ、あいつがそう働きかけた。
See, good job, Hanji, that you came to the restaurant. Once again, I say this.
初耳です。でもおかしいだろう。ジークの脊髄液を飲んだエルジア人は硬直するんだろう。ジークがそう言った。
But this is what Zeke is saying, but that doesn't mean that it's the truth. Yeah. Absolutely. Remember what Pixies said, in order to spread the truth, sometimes you put little lies that can seem true, but they are not. That's the perfect way.
マーレ兵なら知っている。ジークの脊髄液が今までどんな使われ方をしたのか。10年ほど前、マーレは敵国の首都を一晩で落とした。何百もの巨人が街中に湧いて出たからだ。そんなことでも企んでなきゃ。なんであの怪しいワインを兵団のお偉方に飲ませなきゃいけないのか。俺にはわかんねえけどな。お前、さっき俺からあのワインを取り上げたのは、俺たちを守るためか。
Exactly. No, you are doing this to protect them. Come on. Oh, let's see if Nicola will survive too. That would be amazing. I've never thought about this. Let's see. Selfishness. I mean, the will to get your personal revenge. Selfishness. Oh, next week. Oh. Yeah, Gabi, this is what your previous generations told you. If somebody is making a mistake, or if someone is killing a dear person, or if someone is betraying you, you have to kill him. You have to kill her. This is what they taught you, okay? But this doesn't mean that this is something good to do. This was exactly the way to stop the chain of pain. That's it. So from now on, your life can change. It's up to you. No, there's no point to kill you because this is not going to work anyway. If they kill you, Falco is going to get his personal revenge, and your parents who are going to hear that you're dead want their revenge. See, this thing is not going to change. But if we stop killing others and we talk more, things are different, and nobody's going to kill others. Nobody's going to take their revenge. Blah, 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 blah. But exactly. In this case, I agree with Armin. Here we go. Here we go.
フロック。会えてよかった。あなたはジークの居場所を知っているはずです。そこまで道案内をしてもらいます。いや、我々は君たちと争うつもりはないんだが。その申し出は断りました。我々は兵団と交渉しない。
But the flock is coherent.
なんでかな。
He is coherent.
エレンの判断です。
Yeah.
ピクシス司令は我々
By
の命
order.
を委ねるような賭けはしない。我々を道案内する道中でエレンから始祖を奪う算段を立てるのに今頃大忙し。
But they will not be able to do
妄想が過ぎるよ。それとも中東兵団内にいるお仲間がそう告げ口してきたのかな。聞けば何でも答えてくれるほどの親切な部下に見えますが、それかあなたの部下ではないと示すべきでしょうか。そうなる前にご同行を。くそ、なんで俺たちがここにいることが。クリズ、 まさかお前がイエレナの差し金か。ニコロ、お前はエルディア人に入れ込みすぎだ。いつかこうなる日が来る気がしてな。彼らとの連絡手段を教えなくて正解だった。
フロック、聞くんだ。私たちは仲間同士で争い合っている場合じゃない。ジークの積水液が混入したワインが兵団内で振る舞われた。我々はジークの計画に踊らされているんだよ。
だとしても、バカな憲兵どもがでかいバカになるだけでしょ。もういいですか。
憲兵団が飲まされたとは言ってないぞ。まさかあんたたちワインのことを知ってたの。
店内ではお静かにお願いいたします。
I mean, Flock, come on. But he's coherent. I want to remark this.
今の声、フロックたちと来た。
Next week.
お前らと話がしたくて。
Guys, I wanted to talk to you. Yeah. Actually, yes. And I think these will be somehow the last time they talk together like this. I mean, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, I think the episode of next week, when I will rewatch it, episode 14, it will be the last talk. I mean, the last quiet talk they have, because later the rumbling will start. So I don't think they will sit around a table and they will have the chance to be quiet, and they will have the chance to talk as if they were doing even in previous seasons, while they were sitting on the stairs or while they were sitting around the table. I think, yeah, episode 14 is the last time in which we see these main characters talking like this, peacefully. Let's call it peaceful, even if it's not. But it's the last chance Eren has to have them in front of him and to be quiet at the beginning. Even if he is going to provoke them, even if he's going to say bad things to them, but maybe it's the last time he's going to see them like this, and he has the chance to look at them properly. I don't know, but it sounds as if it's, oh, okay, guys, I want to talk to you. That means, to me, now that I see it once again, it's like as if he's saying, guys, I want to talk to you because this is the last time and maybe we can talk together. It's pretty painful, but oh, come on. Eren, I don't know, look, even if he will die, because he will, he has the time limit, so there is no other choice. But I would like to hear, okay, his last words. I wanted to see what is he going to say for the last time. The usual last words that you hear before a person is dying, like Erwin when he was dying, and he was repeating that question he was asking to his father. I want to see, because the last time, in the last rewatch I made, episode 12, I was telling you something that I was not expecting to imagine. Do you remember when the the other Kyojin was asking him, the sensui no Kyojin, the Warhammer, yes, the Warhammer Titan, he was asking Eren, what are your last words? And Eren said, Imada, Mikasa. Do you remember? Do it now, Mikasa. Somehow, this, I mean, after watching it, rewatching it, this was a hint, maybe. I mean, for some point of view, I'm thinking, yeah, he said, do it now, Mikasa, because Mikasa is the first name that came into his mind at that moment. And if there were his last words for real, anyway, Mikasa was in the sentence. And because he didn't know, okay? He trusted them to come, but he didn't know if they would have come or not. So, anyway, those were his last words, and Mikasa was a part of that last sentence. And it means that he loves her so much. If I have to say my last words, I don't put the name of a person, I don't care. In my last words, I am always putting somebody I care, somebody I love. And it means that he loves Mikasa. Otherwise, he wouldn't say, do it now, Mikasa. But, if is this just an anticipation? Because if Mikasa, do you remember my 3 theories, okay? First theory, Eren is going to be killed by all of them. By the team, by Eren, by Mikasa, Armin, Jan, Connie, all together, Levi too, raising themselves as the previous Chosa head, and they are in front of Eren, transformed into his last form, and boom, all together. Second theory, Eren will be killed by Armin and Mikasa together because they are his best friends. But the third theory I told you was that Mikasa is going to kill him. So is these last words during the Warhammer versus Eren's battle, are those words an anticipation of what's happening at the end? Because if is Mikasa only who's going to kill Eren, those words, Imada, Mikasa, can be related to that moment of the Warhammer battle, or is an anticipation of what's happening later when Mikasa is going to kill Eren for real. And in that case, he is going to say, do it now, Mikasa. That means I'm ready to be killed by you. Do it now. And anyway, those words, even at the end, will be his last words. So, was that moment with the Warhammer, was it an anticipation of what's happening at the end? Or even in that moment, did Eren see what can happen in the future and how he's going to die? Question mark. For me, question mark for me, not a question mark for you who you have already the answer for this. But I'm always wondering, especially in these recent live streamings, I'm thinking, was that an anticipation? Did he see already how he's going to be killed? Ooh, as always, these stories a journey, but yeah, even in this case, when he said, guys, I want to talk to you, it seems as if, guys, this is the last time I can talk to you like this. Don't you feel it? I mean, even his tone of voice is so deep and wow, okay. Look, yeah, I think I told you everything for today. I don't have other new theories because I already made lots of them in the previous live streamings. So, but okay, let's see next week. I mean, with the episode 14, I will rewatch it and let's see what it comes to my mind. But definitely now I have a huge portrait in front of me. I have like a sort of a portrait of what can happen. Yeah. This is just what I believe about. Then, if it will not be confirmed, good for me. I mean, it means that I don't know how it goes on, and this is even better. But if the story goes on like this, I think, yeah, as many people say, this is really coherent. I mean, I can't say that I don't like it because it's really coherent. Okay, if everything I said to you in these live streamings so far, in these months, recent months, if what I told you is how the story will end, or if this is the story and how it will end, how it will go on, it's really coherent, guys. So if what I told you so far is true, I simply don't understand why people don't like the ending. Okay, we will discuss about it when we will reach the end, but I don't understand because this story is coherent if it's ending as much as I told you. So I don't know. I sincerely I don't know, but there's no way that I will dislike it if it's how I told you so far. No, it's just a really coherent, good, and it's not going somewhere that it was a pretty impossible for the story to go. So this is good for me so far. Then, if I'm going to see something different, or if what I told you so far is totally wrong, okay, in that case, I don't know what to expect. But based on this rewatch, based on the trailers, based on the capitule, based on my thoughts, based on my, maybe they are ridiculous thoughts, let me tell you, but maybe maybe everything that I'm telling you is just a coincidence. It can happen. So I don't know, but in few months we will know. I will know. So anyway, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to cry. Yeah. But I think if it's going on like this, it's pretty coherent, and there's nothing to feel offended for the ending or disappointed for the ending. It's just coherent. If you like a coherence, I like a coherence. So maybe that's why I can like this ending. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Now, I just want to tell you that from next week, I go back to Tuesday. This was just something exceptional because yesterday it was a national holiday, so I took a break. But from next week, I come back on Tuesday with the rewatch of episode 14. There are just 3 episodes left before part 2 will start. So join me and let's enjoy together with these rewatch and see if I can find if I can catch some details as much as I did in the previous episodes. Thank you so much for the support, guys, and see you with the next videos coming in the next days and in the next live streaming next week on Tuesday with the rewatch of episode 14. Thank you so much for the support. Bye. See you next time. Bye. See ya.